Good evening. Coming up tonight.
All the student body candidates are running unopposed.
Gamecock basketball had an undefeated weekend at Colonial Life Arena.
And USC's theater department is hosting its first show of the semester.
All that and more tonight on Student News at 7.
Live from the Kennedy Greenhouse Studio.
This is Student News at 7.
Good evening, Carolina. I'm Grace Berkery.
And I'm Clarissa Meier. Thanks for joining us tonight.
The 2024 election season for student government is underway, and it's looking a bit different this year. All candidates running for executive positions are unopposed. The presidential candidate this year is Patton Byers, who was formerly chief of staff for the two previous presidents, Emmy Thompson and Reedy Newton. Courtney Tax is running for vice president and is currently a senator for the College of Nursing. Byers and Tax are both advocating for Uber discounts for football games, mental health days, and Wi-Fi improvements. Maura Hamilton is running for Speaker of Student Body, and Jacob Vaught is running for Treasurer. Voting begins for Senate and executive positions at 9 a.m. February 20th through 5 p.m. February 21st. Nikki Haley had 4 bus tour stops across South Carolina over the weekend in Newberry, Greenwood, Lexington, and Orangeburg counties. The tour seeks to increase enthusiasm for South Carolina's early voting phase, which commenced today. Additionally, it serves as a supplement to Haley's frequent criticisms of Donald Trump's absence in the state, as she organized almost a dozen campaign gatherings over the past 2 weeks. However, this weekend, Trump did hold his first rally in the Palmetto State at Coastal Carolina University and will begin his own tour throughout the state in the following weeks. During his speech on Saturday, Trump also promoted early voting and discussed his key issues of the upcoming election, including immigration, international relations, and crime rates.
This past weekend was one full of festivities with Mardi Gras kicking off and Super Bowl Sunday. On Saturday, Columbia's 14th annual Mardi Gras celebration honored the legacy of its co-founder. Tom Hall, who worked alongside Christian Niemi to create the Columbia Mardi Gras, passed away just a few weeks before the event. Niemi remembers Hall's creativity and drive to bring a community together through his love of music and all things Mardi Gras. The theme of the festival was Long Live the King, in celebration of Hall's memory. With his close friends seeing him as an icon to many in the Columbia music scene, he was also an attorney, restaurant owner, and filmmaker. Niemi spoke on how the festival was never about Hall, but everyone else. Mardi Gras Columbia kept the focus on raising money for charity and creating a sense of community just as Hall would have wanted. I think that this is great. I think Hall definitely left an impact and a legacy on Mardi Gras Columbia. It's super cool to see this event continue and to bring people together.
I love seeing how traditions from other parts of the country can be localized, and I definitely think that he was able to do that here, and I think we should go next year.
Yeah, I see a lot of students going a lot, and I think I don't usually go, but we definitely need to make it out there.
Absolutely. This past Saturday, SGTV reporter Aaron Smith attended a different kind of speed dating event and highlighted some very special candidates.
Change stations in 3 minutes! 3 minutes!
Columbia's Animal Services partnered with Beer Color for a speed dating edition of their adoption event series, Pups and Pints. Across the country and here in Columbia, humane shelters are facing challenges with overcrowding. Owner surrenders and unexpected litters of puppies from dogs that are not spayed or neutered contribute to the large amounts of dogs brought into the shelter. And when shelters become overcrowded, they are forced to euthanize some of their animals to allow space for others. Lindsay Hummel, a volunteer with Animal Services, speaks on the issue.
The overcrowding in the shelter, it's really a vicious cycle, and it really is a community problem.
With overcrowding in shelters being such a serious issue in Columbia, events like these are so special for the community.
The Pups and Pints series gives individuals looking to adopt the chance to meet many adoptable dogs in a public social environment.
You just see a different type of dog, and that helps the adopters see more of their personality, and it helps them get adopted way easier.
At the last Pups and Pints event, 6 dogs were adopted. Hannah Avent, who has fostered dogs in the past, had her eyes on a pup she hopes to foster next.
We came here, we saw him, fell in love, and I think we're going to try to take him home.
For SGTV, I'm Erin Smith.
Thanks, Erin.
Coming up after the break, SGTV sports reporters Lauren Ciuci and Isabella Davis will give us the latest in sports. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Lauren Ciuci.
And I'm Isabella Davis, here to give you the latest in sports.
South Carolina women's basketball had a major weekend battling to keep their undefeated record, playing in a highly anticipated game against University of Connecticut. The former number 11 Huskies traveled down to Columbia to play the Gamecocks in Colonial Life Arena. The unspoken rivalry between South Carolina and UConn made for a very interesting game. The first quarter was off to an aggressive start by both teams. South Carolina player Ashlyn Watkins had a spectacular block denying UConn's KK Arnold from finding the net. Tahina Paupau showcased her talents on the court, collecting 21 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. By halftime, the Gamecocks were up by 14 points and had maintained the lead for the whole half. UConn battled for as long as they could, but the Huskies were no match for South Carolina this weekend. The final score was 83-65 Gamecocks, but a key contributor to the South Carolina team was notably absent during the game. Camila Cardoso missed Thursday's game against Missouri and Sunday's game against UConn. Cardoso was traveling to join the Brazilian national team for its Olympic qualifying event. Though her presence was missed in Columbia, Gamecocks were able to play 2 excellent games, proving it really is all about teamwork. Catch South Carolina on Thursday when they play the Tennessee Volunteers in Knoxville. I was at the game on Sunday, and the fans really brought the energy, and I think it really helped the girls compete against such a big opponent.
Yeah, definitely. I was also at the game and could really just feel the energy there and through the crowds. We'll see how that continues to carry on through the week. South Carolina men's basketball has been on a roll. The Gamecocks moved up 4 spots in the AP Top 25 poll and are now ranked at number 11. The Gamecocks defeated Ole Miss 68-65 at home on Tuesday, and came out victorious again this past weekend, beating the Vanderbilt Commodores on Saturday in a 75-60 victory. The Commodores played a close game in the first half that had everyone at Colonial Life Arena on the edge of their seats. However, the Gamecocks came out after halftime more energized and brought on the heat during the second half. Colin Murray-Boyles scored a career-high 31 points during the game and helped lead the Gamecocks to their 21st win of the season. Boyles made for a historic afternoon, stepping up defensively after coming out of halftime down 4 points. In the final 20 minutes of the game, South Carolina finished strong with 8 3-pointers. Talon Cooper notched the first 3-pointer at the start of the second half. BJ Mack also exploded in the second, scoring 12 points and multiple 3-point jumpers for the Gamecocks. South Carolina's blowout over the Commodores has brought them to a 7-game winning streak. And Murray-Boyles was named SEC Freshman of the Week following his performance. The Gamecocks will hit the road to play the Auburn Tigers Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Now, it's been really cool seeing these new rankings in the AP Top 25 poll. Last week, the Gamecocks were ranked at number 15, and now this week, they're starting out at number 11. So I'm excited to see where that's going to bring them.
Yes, it's been really exciting seeing the new AP poll each week, and Lamont Paris is definitely making an impact here in Columbia.
For sure, he's great.
Carolina softball stadium at Beckham Field was filled this weekend with many fans all weekend long, and the Gamecocks are off to a good start. The team currently stands 5-0 for their opening weekend in Columbia. Let's take a look at what SGTV reporters AJ Lee and Corinna Porter have from the final game of the Carolina Classic.
I'm here at Beckham Field where the South Carolina Gamecocks just beat the Virginia Cavaliers 7-1. Let's take a look at some of their highlights.
The game started off slow until the bottom of the third when Kiana Jones hits the team's first grand slam of the year to put the Gamecocks on top 4-0. In the bottom of the fourth, Julia Desiderio would attempt to steal second, which allowed Marissa Gonzalez to score. Come on! Come on! One inning later, Anaya Black singled, which allowed Carly Henderson and Riley Blampede to score. In the bottom of the sixth, freshman Regan Bennett would hit a double and her first ever career hit as a Gamecock. Bennett is one of 4 freshmen on the team. Another freshman, Sage Margico, would pitch 5 scoreless innings. Virginia would score in the top of the 7th as Abby Weaver doubled, as Camiria Woody Giggets would score. The Gamecocks hosted the Carolina Classic this weekend, where they finished 5-0 with wins over Virginia, Jacksonville State, and UNC Greensboro. The Gamecocks will participate in the Puerto Vallarta College Challenge Thursday through Sunday.
For SGTV, I'm AJ Lee.
Thank you, AJ. The Gamecocks will be back in Columbia to host Furman next Wednesday at 5 p.m.
Gamecock men's lacrosse team had a weekend of wins. South Carolina took on Texas Christian University at home on Friday and came out with a 14-9 win against the TCU Horned Frogs. Sunday, the Gamecocks played the Florida State Seminoles and scored another victory, beating the Seminoles 14-8. Freshman John Gerald scored the first goal for the Gamecocks in the first half. Johnny Stanton was also on the run and scored 2 deep goals in the first. Midi Connor Egan scored a top cheddar corner snipe, making another goal for the Gamecocks. Going into the second half of the game, sophomore attacker Jack Naughton buried the first goal of the second. FSU tried to step up their game defensively in the second half by bringing in another defender to the field. But this did not stop the Gamecocks, who were on a roll as Casey Hurley scored for South Carolina. The Cocks were up by 7. Colin Jung scored the last goal for the Gamecocks, bringing the final game score 14-9. The Gamecocks are now 3-0 and will play the Florida Gators this Saturday at 7 p.m. at home.
Coming up after the break, SGTV entertainment reporters Destini Austin and Hailey Brown will lay down the talk of the town. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, Carolina. I'm Hailey Brown.
And I'm Destini Austin, here to give you the latest in this week's entertainment.
USC Theater's first show of the year, Language of Angels, will open at the Lab Theater in Booker T. Washington this Thursday. Language of Angels by Naomi Izuka is a modern-day folktale with themes of life and death, crime, and the supernatural. Abigail Lee McNeely, the director of the show, is a 2017 alum of USC Theater. Since graduating, she has directed and performed in several shows at Columbia's Trustis Theater. McNeely says, quote, "People who love ghost stories, who love true crime, or just love theater will find that this is a beautiful storytelling and a wonderful character piece for some incredibly talented actors at USC," end quote. The show includes a cast of all undergraduate students. Thursday through Saturday, the show will start at 8 p.m., and Sunday's show will be at 3 p.m. Tickets are $10 and may be purchased at the door or online at sc.universitytickets.com. The show's content is not suitable for children. Looking for something to do on Valentine's Day? USC's new free concert series starts this Wednesday. Singles Appreciation Open Mic Night is being held this Wednesday from 7 to 10 p.m. in Russell Underground. The event is being held by Live at the Underground, a new campus program which is bringing the university, quote, Carolina's premier student-run music venue, end quote. The program is being run by a collaboration between the Music Industry Studies program and Russell House. Students taking the Music Industry Capstone course are working all semester to bring students events like these. Events at Live at the Underground are being held every Wednesday for the remainder of the semester. All events are free to those who want to watch. And if you want to perform, you can head to their Instagram at Live at the Underground and follow the link to their Google form.
Good Life Cafe, located in downtown Columbia, will have a night of creativity and expression with poets on stage. This event, in partnership with the Poetry Society of South Carolina, will take place on February 16th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Attendees can look forward to a relaxing night created by the showcase of unique performances by talented local poets, accompanied by musical interludes. An open mic session will also be available for those who feel inspired to share their own poetic works with the audience. This artistic night promises to be a memorable experience for all who attend. Don't miss out on this fun evening of poetry, music, and artistic expression, all for free. Looking for something to do? The Joint in downtown Columbia is hosting Jokes at the Joint right now. This comedy event hosts local comedians from Columbia and surrounding areas to perform at a free open mic. Joint is known for its jazz and blues vibes, adding a touch of magic to the event. Food and drinks will also be available during the show, creating an unforgettable evening of entertainment. The club is located at 1710 Main Street, and if you can't make it to tonight, no worries. This event is hosted every Monday. So if you're looking for some free comedy from talented local comedians, head over to the Joint tonight for a night of fun and laughter. You know, I think a comedy show is a great way to kick off Valentine's Week. Have you ever been to a comedy show before?
I have not been to a comedy show, but in my hometown there's a comedy club right next to where I live, so I've always wanted to go, and maybe I'll head out to that next Monday.
That's cool. I think I'll have to check it out too.
That's all for your entertainment news for tonight. After the break, Clarissa and Grace will return to finish up tonight's news. Stay with us.
If you love discovering new art around Columbia, get ready to be on the lookout for human-sized trout statues. Local artists are finishing 36 statues that will be auctioned off and set up in the city. Dubbed the Columbia Streams Project, it aims to represent the Broad, Saluda, and Congaree rivers. Local artist Carol Brady was chosen for the project and shared how the rivers are a part of the community. Brady shared, quote, "They run through us and we run through them, and that relationship can sometimes be forgotten," end quote. The mayor launched this project in the fall, and now 35 other artists are making trouts. Mayor Rickman hopes to not only draw attention to the river, but create a fun game and bring the community together. While no date has been set for the auction yet, proceeds from the event will fund future public arts projects, according to the mayor. I'm not gonna lie, the first time I read human-sized trouts, I had a bit of a scarier image in my head, but actually they are quite beautiful, and I think they serve a great purpose of representing like the beautiful rivers.
I honestly kind of thought the same thing first, but I think it's going to be a really beautiful addition to all of the other beautiful art that we already have here in Columbia.
For sure.
Columbia Metropolitan Airport is seeing an increase in passengers flying in and out. The airport announced it saw more than 1.2 million passengers in 2023, marking a 16% increase from the passenger traffic in 2022. According to airport executives, this increase is partly due to American, Delta, and United Airlines adding numerous routes and service. The three airlines now offer 26 daily flights going to 9 major airports across 8 cities, including Charlotte, Chicago, Dallas-Fort Worth, Miami, New York, and Washington, D.C. The airport says it's currently examining ways to improve and expand as future growth is anticipated. This includes building space, parking, and access to the airport, along with amenities like concessions and ground transportation.
Families gathered at Richland Library Northeast this weekend to celebrate Lunar New Year and the Year of the Dragon. This event was the first of its kind for Richland Library, and the afternoon was filled with games, crafts, and a lion dance by Thundering Wave Martial Arts. Customer service supervisor Jenny Lau talked about growing up in the community but never really seeing representation in the events. She says, quote, "I'm really excited that now that I work for Richland Library, I can put on these events that everyone can feel seen and also learn about other cultures," end quote. If you are looking to join in on the Lunar Year celebrations here on campus, the Chinese Students and Scholars Association will be hosting the Spring Festival Gala on February 18th. On top of the performances showcased by talented members and non-student performers, you can also look forward to the fashion show of Chinese clothing, the lion dance, and more.
That wraps up tonight's edition of Student News at 7.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at SGTV at USC.
To keep up with all of our content, be sure to also visit us online at sgtv@usc.com. For SGTV, I'm Grace Berkery.
And I'm Clarissa Meier. From all of us here at SGTV, have a great night, Carolina, forever to thee.